Um, just just reviewing the weekend, and we're at the halfway point. We lost a hard-fought game, and first of all, I just want to just start off by saying what amazing atmosphere it was. The homecoming turnout, the fans, 35,000 plus people, just an amazing atmosphere, and we're just really excited about playing in Canvas. Uh, to be able to play in front of our fans and continue to grow as a football team. We as disappointed as we were in the outcome of the game, I just reviewed some things with our football team, and I really challenged our team after our preseason when we started conference play just to really see how much improvement we can make week to week as a team. And I pointed a lot of those things out to them today. We played 2 conference games, and our defense has been outstanding in both games. I think we're second in the conference in points given up in the conference play at 15. We were the leading punt return yardage team, and with Torrey and the things he's given us shot in the arm there. We got a block punt this last game. Avery Morrow is leading the conference in rushing as far as yards per game. He's at 148 in the last 2 games. And so I just really try to point those positives out to our team and show them that if we continue to improve, we can make a lot of gains as a football team as we go through these next 6 games. I started the season talking to our team about the last 5 years and the second half of the season. And we've always taken great pride in improving and showing improvement as the year went along. And so, that started today. I also was excited, to get Clay Millen back on the field. He's been banged up the last couple of weeks, has not practiced. He was back on the field today. And I told our guys, really the one area of our football team that we need to be more detailed and more productive is our passing game. And if we can add productive passing play with what we're doing on defense, what we're doing on special teams, and what we're doing in the running game, I think we can be a much more complete football team and be a much more dangerous football team. And I'm excited about having Clay back. Clay's been with us for a couple years now, has the most experience of all of our quarterbacks in understanding our offense. And he was making some mistakes as a young player, but he was throwing for 70%, which shows great understanding of our offense and giving our playmakers ability to make plays and giving us production. So getting him back is a big plus for us. I think it's also really a positive that Braden Fowler got to play, Giles Pooler got a chance to play. We'd love to play Jackson Stratton at some point as well and give those kids some playing experience and confidence. So we have a lot to look forward to, a lot to build on these next few weeks, and so we're really focusing on that. I drove to work this morning, and I was listening to Soul Town, and there was a song by Marvin Gaye called "Keep On Pushing," and that was. We played it at practice about 3 times. That's what we got to do. We got to keep pushing. We're playing Hawaii this week. We're coming home to Canvas again. And, it seems like every week I either play a former coach or former players or somebody that was with us. Timmy Chang is one of my closest friends, incredible person, great family, really happy for his opportunity to become the head coach at Hawaii. He was with me for 5 years at Nevada, one of my great assistants that I've had, really made a great contribution to us there, and so happy for him and his opportunity. They're a team a lot like us. They're working hard, they're fighting, scratching, clawing, and they're getting better every week. Starting to see a lot of familiar schemes on offense for them, and they're doing a really good job. They had a big win against Nevada last weekend. And they're led by Dedrick Parsons, a running back, really hard running back, physical, not very tall, but he's done an excellent job for them. Wide receiver Zion Bowens, an excellent wide receiver, and then Braden Shager at quarterback is a young guy who you can see his improvement and Coach Chang's influence on him. And they're a spread team that does a good job running and throwing the football, and they do an amazing job. Defensively, they're kind of they're a 3-3-5, but they play a lot of 4 down as well. A lot of multiple looks, a lot of press coverage, and they're improving defensively. A lot of pressure, and they like to try to take away the easy throws from you. And so they're a defense that has improved quite a bit in their conference game. They played a really tough game against San Diego State that went right down to the wire, and they probably should have won it. And then they played excellent last week, kind of corralling Nevada and holding their rush game down. So really great opportunity for us. We're really excited about getting back on the practice field today. And our kids, I think they can see all that we can still accomplish this year. We got 3 home games left. We're going to start playing, some of our longtime rivals. There's still a lot for us to accomplish. I do want to mention this. I grabbed DeQuan Jackson and Mo Camara and an Ajon, Cam Carter. So proud of those seniors and what they're doing for this program and how committed they've been and how hard they've worked. They're setting a great example. They had a lot of their teammates that were here for, their time with them and that are not here anymore, and they did not make the commitment that these guys are making. And I just told them today how proud I was. Chiggy is another senior, is playing outstanding football. And, these guys want to leave on a real positive note. And so we've got 6 games to make some noise. And this is the start of that, and we're excited about the weekend.
Obviously, you worked with Timmy for a while. It wasn't the most ideal situation to take over a head coaching job, but was it the perfect fit for him? And what do you think is going to make him successful?
I just think, Timmy had such an amazing college career there. He grew up there. There's nobody that understands that program and the island like Timmy does. And so I just thought it was a no-brainer. I picked up the phone and called the AD myself and told him that there's only one guy I needed to hire for that job. And I just think Timmy's such a great leader, very bright guy. And, I'm so happy that he got his opportunity. A lot of guys don't. There's a lot of good coaches out there. For one reason or another, they don't get that opportunity. So I really give Hawaii a lot of credit and their athletic director and their leadership for having faith in Timmy. But you can already see how he's getting those kids and banding them together and really molding them in the image that he wants.
When you look at your defense and what they've picked up, what they maybe learned, what did they learn most from those first 4 games that they've carried into these next 2 that's shown them improvement? Well,
I just think we have really good defensive players. I mean, the guys that we brought in, Chiggy and CJ and, Lede and the different players that were brought in here, along with the younger guys that are really, Grady and Mukende and the different young players that are making a contribution. And, we brought in Aiden Hector. These are guys that have come in, and Angel King, the new players that have come in have really accepted their roles. They're listening to the coaching, and they're stepping up and making plays. And so I just think, I challenged our defense today. I mean, we're number 2 in the conference in conference games in defense. I really challenged them. I think we can be the top defense in the conference if we continue to improve and get better. And that's part of what I'm talking about, of what we have to play for. We have a lot to play for. And so, we made improvements these last couple of weeks, and we have to continue to make improvement.
Not just on Timmy, but when you're hiring coaches, are you looking at guys as part of the equation? Do you think, can this guy be a head coach? Is that something?
Absolutely. Yeah. it's interesting you asked that question. I worked for Hayden Fry, and Hayden Fry, he told me a long time ago, he said one of the qualities that he looks for in coaches is he always wanted to hire guys that aspired to be head coaches, because you never had to motivate them. They were always going to be working harder to find better ways to do things. They're always going to be in the office trying to be the very best because they want to make a name for themselves. And when I got my head job at Nevada, I got a picture when I was in school of our coaching staff, and you have pictures of Barry Alvarez and Coach Snyder and Kurt Ferentz and all these guys that became Bob Stoops, Mike Stoops, all these guys that became head coaches. And when I became the head coach at Nevada, I got a call from Coach Fry, who was still alive then, and he said, Jay, he goes, I just got a call from Football Coaches Association, and they said that you becoming a head coach, he has the most assistants that have ever become head coaches from Iowa. And he passed up Bear Bryant and Bobby Bowden, and that says a lot. But I learned a lot from Coach Fry, and I think we have guys on our staff now that will be head coaches, but Timmy is just so mature and such a great leader. He's gonna really put that program in the right direction.
When you guys did, for you and Timmy first, kind of connected, what was it, that made you think, this guy?
Well, some guys in this profession, you know them from when they were players, and Timmy was an amazing player. I remember watching the late night games of Hawaii and all the numbers that he put up, and when we used to go to Hawaii at Nevada, you'd walk in the stadium and you'd see his pictures all over the place and the posters, but he's just such a beloved player there. He people remember the exciting days when he was playing and throwing the ball all over the place, and how he led those teams, and he's a native. I mean, he's from there, played at St. Louis High School, and he's kind of a legend, and I think that really excites the people there. And you could see them rally around the program. And when you play Hawaii, you better strap it up. They play hard. They play extremely hard. They always have. We don't have to go over there. We get them at home, but it's a tough matchup every time you play them. And they just have a spirit that they play with, and you're up for a challenge when you line up against these guys.
You mentioned Avery and what he's done these last couple games. He was quick to credit the O-line. I'm sure the stability there has helped too, but it seems like he's running really hard.
Really hard.
What are you seeing from his?
I just see him. Sometimes backs just need rhythm and getting carries, and I think our backs are doing a really good job of reading the schemes that we're running. He's got really good pace and tempo, but I'm just so proud of how hard he's running. I mean, he ran through several tackles on that touchdown. And he's just not going down easy. I mean, I just think that's a great quality of a good back, having good vision, having good balance, but just not going down easy. One guy's not going to take me down, and that was just such a willful run that he had on the touchdown, and I was so proud of him for it. And he's unselfish, and I just think he's kind of coming into his own as a player. He never got the amount of rush attempts at Nevada that he's gotten now, and he's kind of blooming as a player. I mean, I think that's what makes me so excited about offense, because our numbers haven't been good, but Avery has been incredibly productive. Torrey's been productive. He's not going to have another game like he had this last week, and earlier in the year, we were throwing for a high percentage with Clay in there. The last 2 weeks, we're throwing like 40%. And that's just not our standard. We're used to throwing high 60s and 70s and giving our guys opportunities to play. So hopefully getting Clay back, we can improve those numbers and really add more production in the passing game.
You do talk to your players about taking advantage of the opportunity, and is Avery like Exhibit 1? Because he mentioned after the Nevada game, hey, it was important to me to come here and show what I could do, because he played behind two pretty good backs.
Yep.
But given the opportunity, he wanted to show he was capable.
No doubt. And I think all our players are like that. One of our, I talk to these guys every week, and I try to highlight different things and make a point to them. But, I took Tom Brady's career, and I talked to him about his path. And, when he was in college, he really didn't play until his junior year. And then he split time with Drew Henson and his senior year, and you know, he played behind Drew Bledsoe. And I think the greatest credit to Tom Brady is that he was a backup player who took advantage of his opportunity. And we have a number of backup players that have had to play. And you have a responsibility to your teammates that when you get your opportunity, that you're prepared, you know what to do, and you can do your job. And you know, and it's just important that backup players understand that. You know, we have a lot of guys that are backup players that are making a huge contribution. And, you know, Aiden Hector was a backup player. Now he's starting. And so, you know, George McKeon is, you know, wasn't starting the season at center. Now he's a starter. And so there's just so many examples of that in football. And, you know, Avery's taken advantage of his opportunity. He's done a great job.
Is that something you want to see spread, and are you starting to see it because you see Dane Olson, his first career catch, blocks a punt. George is a starter for you now. Lewis Brown, new to the starting lineup, 4 catches last year.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. You know, you were here in the spring and watched us practice a lot. A lot of you guys did, and we spent a lot of time investing reps in our 2s and 3s and 4s. And so those kids that were here in the spring, they got a ton of repetitions and a lot of experience. You know, I think we're benefiting, especially on defense, from that right now. Offensively, we got a bunch of freshmen that were in prom. When we were going through all that, they were in prom. They didn't get those reps, and so we're just seeing just a lack of repetition and experience with, you know, playing the number of freshmen on offense that we've had to play. And but I told them today, I said, you're not freshmen anymore. It's the second half of the season. Okay, let's go. And we have to take advantage of the experiences that we've had in the first part of the season. And those young kids got to really step up now. But I think that's just an observation that we've had over the last few weeks, just the younger guys that have been backups having to step up and play. The ones that weren't here in the spring just are a little bit further behind than the guys that were. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, guys.